Hello, welcome back. Today we got episode 20 of Things DIORPIUM wants you to hear. We got only a couple, not a couple, we got a good amount of things today. Shouldn't go crazy. It might run a little long, but we'll get into it. We'll do the quick fight night recap of, UFC Fight Night Mexico City. I did not get to watch the fights until the Regina Turin versus Ernesta Caracite fight or whatever. But Damian Pinas destroys Wes Schultz by first round KO up against the fence. I'm pretty sure. I think I saw the highlight. That was pretty cool. Eric Silva versus Francis Marshall. Francis Marshall got the submission. And well, oh yeah, round one in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I should probably go back and watch that one. That one seems like it'd be pretty good. I kind of watched the Regina Turin fight. I was at work. You know what I'm saying? And now obviously I got to get that bag over. Sit down and watch these. What were saw out to be mid fights. From what I did, this was just like stand and bang the whole time. For every time I got a chance to look at the TV, this fight looked really good. From what I saw, I didn't get to watch the for a whole fight, so this could be completely wrong. It felt like Arnessa kind of did more, or like from what I saw. But like I said, I didn't even get to watch the full 15, so I'm not really complaining about the decision here. But she did look, Regina did look pretty surprised when she got the decision. That's what I noticed. I did get to basically watch Javier Reyes versus Douglas Silva de Andrade. This was actually a crazy scrap from what I got to saw. Douglas was like basically dogging. I'm pretty sure the fight started off. Javier was kind of landing the better shots. Douglas clipped him, rocked his ass. Started like fucking him up, almost TKO'd him basically. Javier survived, and I think he dropped Douglas too, if I'm not mistaken, or just like kept like fucked him up and somehow like took him down and got his back or whatever. But then he basically like TKO'd him in the last seconds because Douglas kind of just like covered up like this or like, you know, Javier basically had like both hooks and I think it was just like ground and pounding from the back. I think. I don't know. But yeah, then he got the TKO in the last second. That was pretty crazy. Next fight, uh, uh, Chris Moutinho versus Christian Quinones. Didn't even get to watch this one, but went to a decision and Chris Moutinho lost, so it probably was terrible. I didn't. I kind of got to watch the Eileen Perez fight, but my prediction was right. Eileen Perez won by twerk nuke, so that was pretty good. Um, yeah, she dropped the bomb after she got the decision. While she was crying, that was pretty cool. Ryan Gondra versus Daniel Medina. This fight was pretty good too. The feature prelim. Everyone's saying the same thing. This dude's 0-4 in his 4 UFC fights. Like, why is he still in the UFC? Blah blah blah. This was just pretty bad. He literally just got destroyed. Pretty sure he got knocked out with the uppercut, if I'm not mistaken. But it's literally just like basically got like flurried initially in the fight and just got caught, or not even caught, but just dropped and finished. But it is what it is. Angel Pacheco versus Santiago Luna. I didn't really get to watch this fight, but I'm glad Angel Pacheco lost. Like I said, just his face, something about it, bro. Probably a chill dude. Let's just put that out there. But then Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. I want to watch this fight back for real. I have not, but I kind of watched it live, and it looked like it was a crazy scrap. But I have what everyone's been saying this fight was crazy scrap. One of the like Kevin they were saying Kevin Borjas basically destroyed Emmanuel Rodriguez, and then Rodriguez like survived and came back and like did all that. So that fight was probably really good. Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Bunez. Gotta watch it a little bit. Split decision, Edgar Chairez. I mean, it would seem pretty boring from every time I gotta look at it. But these last three though, I actually gotta watch these fights. Daniel Zellhuber versus King Green, bro. We all got this wrong. We all thought Zellhuber was gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But he just literally can't box, bro. It's so crazy. Or like he can, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Yeah, he can't. He can't box. He got outboxed by Bobby Green. The stoppage was so bad, bro. Like he literally got caught with that kind of like I don't think it was like a left or right hand or something. That just like you saw his eyes, just like you saw his soul leave his body for a split second, and then he was basically out on his feet. Just gets destroyed, basically getting more TKO'd back up against the cage. He like basically gets thrown down because Bobby's just like doing like literally knocking him to the ground. Dude, Bahamondes is literally on his shoulder and his neck, like not even like posted up trying to like survive, just literally just limp, just eating shots. That shit was crazy, bro. That was disgustingly bad. And I understand it's UFC Mexico. They want the Mexicans, fight. They give them a little bit, extra of a chance. First year was Herb Dean too, so it is what it is. It was a pretty good fight nonetheless. Good job for King Green. Marlon Vera versus David Martinez. I kind of got to watch this fight. I was driving home at the time. David Martinez edged it out. Marlon Vera didn't do shit the whole time, basically. David Martinez beat him up for the first 2 rounds and then ran for the third and then got the decision, basically. But it is what it is. The fight was all right. Wasn't that crazy. But then Brandon Moreno versus Loner Kavanaugh. This fight was actually really good, bro. Not I want to say a close fight, but but it wasn't. Like Loner really just like basically immobilized Brandon Moreno by destroying his leg with calf kicks. Basically just like stopped Brandon Moreno in his tracks. It seemed like Brandon Moreno it felt like he couldn't really do anything. He literally had to hold Loner up against the cage for like almost 2 full rounds and just like keep on kneeing his knees. Like listen, those hurt and those add up. I bet Loner's feeling that shit right now. All of them, every single one. But in the moment, it doesn't do anything. Like the adrenaline's pumping. You know, I guess you could somehow compromise Loner's like knee, but like out of all the times you were seeing knee strikes, it does no one's knee ever gets compromised from it. So it is what it is. But then Loner literally just like, bro, literally what I thought Brandon Moreno was gonna do, Loner did. Like I was like, Brandon Moreno's gonna outvet. He's gonna basically just vet him, use his leg kicks, probably outbox him, maybe land maybe a couple of the better shots. And now Loner did all that, and that was a pretty good fight. Crazy movement in the flyweight division. Now, in with the new, out with the old. This is what we like to see. This is truly, truly entertaining. But that fight card just seemed like it was actually pretty decent compared to like the Houston one. Houston wasn't bad, but it wasn't like the craziest fight night of all time. This was somewhat better, but it is what it is. Yeah, that was all right. Next one, we got some fucking announcements, bruh. Number 2. So I wrote down. Tubb said we're looking good for around May for a fight with the NFC. We've been waiting for this moment right here. You do not understand. I've been grinding for the last 2 years of basically just straight striking, but we're grappling now. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, I'm so excited. It's gonna be my first fight. You know what I'm saying? I did like a tournament. I've done black eye. You know what I'm saying? I've had fights before, but this is like my first. Like I get my walkout. I'm fighting one person. No more tournaments. 1 second. Jake. My apologies. Jake was destroying his fucking toy basket. That was annoying. Anyway, yes. May. Some sort of fight. Probably Muay Thai, most likely. I'm very excited. I hope it's not a kickboxing fight. And I guess with that, me saying that, this kind of goes into the next one. The NFC said they might do a DBX rule set, bruh. Like they might have dirty boxing bouts. This opens the door, bruh. And dude, I literally feel like I could actually excel in the DBX thing. Like right now, I feel like I'm honestly focusing on straight boxing because I feel like that's what I need to do to strengthen my future in anything. Which boxing is decent, but you see how these boxers do, these Muay Thai strikers and these MMA things. Like I need to get my boxing up basically. But yeah, but mixing in the elbows, I'm already good with that. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I hope I could be in a DBX, basically like an amateur DBX bout, like one of the first ever. That'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that's very I don't know. I fuck with that. And yeah, 1 second. He's fucking destroying that. Anyway, this dude's literally just eating his basket. Yeah, that'd be crazy, bro. Because I feel like I'm one of the only people on YouTube actually making videos about DBX and actually know what I'm looking at. Obviously, there's fans of DBX that are following the storylines too, but who's really making videos about it, bro? Nobody, it feels like. So this would actually be pretty crazy, and to find DBX one day would be crazy. Imagine the storyline, bro. But yeah, that's really that for that. Next one, number 4. UFC Journey showed Anthony Hernandez. His daughter thought that Sean Strickland flicked her off after the fight, after the decision, or after he obviously won after the TKO. and then it showed, and then Paramount had a camera on their family. It just showed the kids crying, bro. Like that was so fucking. I'm sorry, but I was laughing so hard, bruh. And it just continues for me to continue with the thought that Paramount's new promo and their UFC journeys and the quality of everything is genuinely getting better. And I just the fact that they're literally showing the whole fight, but just in a production like a movie, bro, not just UFC cameras, blah blah blah. This is like a movie, which is pretty cool. Yeah, to see that. I feel I haven't noticed that or whatever. But yeah, for Anthony Hernandez's daughter to think that Sean Strickland flicked her off and she started crying after that is crazy. And also for Anthony Hernandez to kind of do that in the moment. I feel like there's a little bit in there that wants to take away from Sean's moment. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But that's just me thinking, and I guess we will go on to the next thing. Sorry, I just destroyed the camera. One of the most important things to talk about on this UFC 327 basically all got announced. Yeah, Prohaska Oberg. Let's get it. Right now, so far, we have main event Yuri Prohaska versus Carlos Oberg. Co-main event Joshua Van versus Tatsuto Taira. Featured fight Beneil Dariush versus Manuel Torres. Oh my god. Second fight in the main card, Josh Hokett versus Curtis Blades. Crazy. First fight in the main card, Randy Brown versus Kevin Holland. And then featured prelim, as it's saying, these could change or whatever. Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. Azamat Murzakanov versus Paulo Costa. Tatiana Suarez versus Lupi Godinez. Cub Swanson versus Nate Landwehr. Vicente Luque versus Kelvin Gastelum. And Francisco Prado versus Christopher Alvidrez. You don't understand how crazy these fights are, bro. And this makes me makes me regret not deciding to officially not go to Miami this year. So to see Yuri become champ is something I always dreamed of, but I'll save it for Ilya Islam, bro. That's the real fight to go to. Just a quick prediction about all these fights. Obviously, Yuri versus Carlos Oberg. I think Yuri's going to find the finish. In a 5-round fight, I think Yuri's going to find the finish. Oberg will probably actually be a little difficult, I think, just due to his kickboxing. And I think the leg kicks could kind of add up. Yuri checks leg kicks, but not enough to actually make me want to think that the leg kicks won't be a problem. But I think I think Yuri obviously is a slow starter. I think he'll just warm up and find the finish like he does in every fight. I genuinely believe that Yuri is the best amongst all of these guys, except Alex Pereira is his father. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then Carlos Oberg will go back to the chopping block. But obviously, this means Alex Pereira vacates his light heavyweight belt, probably moving up to heavyweight. Who knows? Whatever that means. We'll probably get into that later in this video. But my early prediction for the co-main event, I'm going Tatsuto Taira by submission in second or third round. I could just see him holding Josh down and Josh just gassing out from the grappling, and it is what it is. Taira finds that rear naked choke or a Kimura or something crazy, you know what I'm saying? But probably, a pretty basic submission. But those are his strong suits that always get him after he just wear and tear. So Tatsuto Taira round 2 or 3 submission. Beneil Dariush versus Manuel Torres. Obviously, Manuel Torres by flatline KO in the first second of the first round. Mateusz Gamrot versus Ribovic. Crazy fight, bro. Probably Gamrot, unfortunately, but I want Esteban to win. Don't we all? This is what we all want. I don't even got to really clarify that. But obviously, we're probably going to go Gamrot. I'm going to go Gamrot by decision. I can see this definitely going to decision. This is definitely going to be a good scrap for both of them. Next one, Curtis Blades versus Josh Hokett. I think Curtis Blades by probably round 1 or round 2 TKO. I don't see him flatlining Josh Hokett, but I see him kind of wrestling him. Heavyweight fight, they're going to get a little tired. Curtis Blades has a decent gas tank. Josh Hokett looks a little tired on the feet. Maybe he bites a feint. Curtis comes back with a counter, drops his ass with an uppercut or something. Who knows? But I'm going Curtis Blades TKO round 1 or round 2. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. I don't know. Kevin Holland's weird. I'm just going to play it safe and go Randy Brown decision. Okay, I think Kevin Holland's too unorthodox, not too much, but enough to where this simple kind of striking from Randy Brown won't be able to land as good as we think it might be, if that makes sense. But I think he'll still land the better shots and kind of just do better. But I think it'll still be a good scrap. I think there might be a moment here where Kevin's just complaining about something, or maybe some fuck shit happens where maybe, he gets poked in the eye, the ref doesn't see it, or maybe he gets kicked in the nuts, ref doesn't see it, and he's just sitting there complaining. And but it is what it is. There's always something with the Kevin Holland fight. And as far as Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico goes, I'm going Aaron Pico by, I want to say KO, bro, but I'm going to say that, and it's probably going to go to the decision. But I'm going to go Aaron Pico by decision. Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. Obviously, they're going to knock each other out at the same time. For real, I'm going Dominic Reyes, finding Johnny Walker's chin, probably. Miami Johnny Walker smells was a flimsy Johnny Walker KO. So going with Dominic Reyes, getting his second flatline KO in Miami, as he did last year. against what's that fool's name? Ukrainian dude. You know what I'm talking about. I should know that. I might remember. Nikita Krylov. Exactly. Azamat Murzakanov versus Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa moving up to light heavyweights. My heart wants to say Paulo Costa via Ladderman skill, but Azamat probably could just like. I could see just the power of Azamat actually TKOing Paulo Costa. But who knows? Paulo Costa with, not a weight cut and actually just being able to comfortably basically make weight. Probably still going to have to cut weight a little bit, but not as bad. I don't know. I really don't know here. This is kind of a pick 'em. But I'm going to go Azamat Murzakanov by TKO in the, I'll say second or third round. Lupi Godinez versus Tatiana Suarez. Lupi Godinez kind of looks like a crazy ex, bro. Like, she just looks low-key like a lunatic, bro. I don't know why, but I don't know. Let's pull up this Magic 8 Ball. Well, let's go to a decision in Lupi's favor in Miami. You may rely on it, it says. So we're going to go Lupi Godinez by decision. Cub Swanson versus Nate Landwehr. I think Cub Swanson is going to TKO Nate's Landwehr in round 2. It's going to be a crazy scrap, high pace. They're within it's going to be good, bro. I don't even got to predict it, bro. You know how good of a scrap that's going to be, and just like the entertainment. And it's like one of the first, not the first, but one of the earlier fights on the card. That's going to be good. This whole card is looking so good. Obviously, this is going to be Cub Swanson's retirement fight, so expect maybe a little video or something dedicated to Cub Swanson. He's been in the game for a minute. But yeah, him versus Nate Landwehr is going to be a crazy fight. Do not miss that one. Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. Pretty sure it was Kyle Dawkins versus Vicente Luque, but something probably happened. My prediction? Early prediction. I'm going to go Kelvin Gastelum. I could see him honestly just like finishing Vicente Luque on some shit. Like, obviously, Kelvin Gastelum's unreliable, like missing weight at middleweight, bro. Like, shouldn't even be in the UFC. But I think he's gonna fluke Vicente Luque here. That tends to happen to Vicente Luque over like, it's always in the fight you think he's gonna win too. Like the fucking Kevin Holland fight when he got fluke Darst, and it just is what it was. He couldn't fight out of it. Like, it was smooth. I don't know if it really was a fluke. Like, it was just a good read. But yeah, I'm gonna go Kelvin Gastelum. Probably like just catching Vicente Luque, dropping him, and I don't know, or maybe just like landing. I don't know. It's either Vicente Luque decision or Kelvin Gastelum TKO. Let's be real here. But I'm going to go with Kelvin Gastelum TKO. And Francisco Prado versus Christopher Alvarez. I'm not familiar with Christopher, but I am familiar with Francisco Prado. Shout out my Argentinian boys. Shout out my, Uruguayan girls. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go Francisco Prado here. Prado, I know, they're not the same thing, but, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to go Francisco Prado. Hopefully by finish, but I could see a decision. I don't really know too much about Christopher Alvidrez. But he's 1-0. That's crazy. Actually insane. I guess he lands more per minute. Significant. He has bet more higher percentage of significant strikes. Holy shit. And he absorbs lower amounts of punches per minute compared to Francisco Prado. But their defense is about the same. This could, just basing it off of this, I'm still going to go Francisco here. Don't get me wrong. But we could be shocked. Christopher Alvarez could actually just, outbox him. And maybe, I don't even know if he's a boxer, so I'm not going to say that, but outstrike him into a decision. That's my, other thought on that fight. But that's it for UFC Miami so far. They might throw on, one or two more fights by the end of the, until that comes. But that one's going to be really good. Next one, Prates versus Della Maddalena, bro. Who do you got? Who do we got? Who do I got? I'm rocking with JDM. Can't switch up. I fuck with Prates, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a good one. But I think in this 5-round fight, Carlos's conditioning is not gonna keep up. Listen, he probably is working on conditioning hell of this camp, but I still think it's not going to be enough. I think JDM grits down too much, and JDM's conditioning just relies all on his mental state. In a way. Not actually, but you know what I mean? Like, if he's getting beat up and he's getting held down like he did towards Islam, where he's literally has looks like he just saw someone get hit by a car and die. Or or he's like really having a good fight. He really has good vibes, and he kind of has that grin on his face, and that kind of just shows his body language or whatever, or you know what I'm saying. But I think that JDM will have a lot of good moments in this fight. He's definitely gonna win more rounds and win that. I think it's gonna go to a decision. Or JDM. I hate always saying like JDM's gonna TKO this dude up against the fence, because I don't think it's gonna be like that. But I could see him actually like rolling with a hook from Prates, hitting a body shot after already beating up the body a bunch. Prates getting kind of weak, drops the hands a little bit, comes right back up with a hook, maybe then like an uppercut cross hook, like just some crazy clean boxing combo that JDM does. So I could see him actually like TKOing Prates. But we cannot count out Carlos Prates. He's a demon, bro. You saw what he did to Leon. That straight left and those straight hands down the pipe, bro. They can be fast, bro. You think you're prepared for him, and then they just like clock your shit. And if Carlos can do that to Leon, bro, then I don't know. But I'm still sticking with JDM. I'm gonna go JDM by decision. I think this could be a good 5-round fight where Carlos does survive. But like I said, I could see JDM beating up that body too, and then switching it up with the head and finding the finish. That's my sophisticated prediction on that fight. Yeah, so that's going to be in UFC Perth. It's going to be a headline of a fight night. That's going to be really good. And the RAF card, we'll talk about that shit real quick, bruh. The George Puyas versus Armin, bruh. They were going crazy. They both basically took each other down once. Got points off that, and then basically got points off of each other, kind of like having bad sportsmanship, basically. And it's just like, and Armin did end up winning, so Armin won that at the end of the day. But obviously, we all saw it at the end when Armin literally just like pushed George to the ground and like punched him in the face and then kneed him. Like Loki, that was some clean ass shit. But George Loki deserves that shit, bro. Like he was the one doing too much. Listen, I've wrestled at Iowa, bro. Like I get the aggressive wrestling style and like just putting the hand on the head, like just really just being a bit like not being a bitch, but like. Just doing your thing, bro. Like, truly, I do that when I wrestle, bro. Like, I'm really cranking that head down, or I'm like kind of really cranking that neck, kind of rubbing my head in your head, or like, I might give you a nice little crossface. I'm not slapping you, you know what I'm saying? But say I'm on your back, I might give you a nice little crossface, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel my forearm go across your nose, like, that's just the game of it. And I don't think that's dirty wrestling. I think it's aggressive wrestling, me personally. But I get the sportsmanship side of all that. But I don't know. It still was pretty good. It just looked like a straight renaissance, bro. I think Armin posted a photo of like just like the whole commotion. It's like George looking at him like this and Armin looking up, like on some just like it looked literally like like a renaissance moment. Like it looked really cool. Like I always like photos like that where it's like when it's like straight chaos and you just see everyone individually playing a part in that. It's pretty cool to look at. Not that it's happening per se, but yeah, it was pretty good nonetheless. I think Henry Cejudo beat Uriah Faber. Didn't even really watch that one. Aljamain Sterling pinned Benson Henderson. That one's pretty good. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know, but yeah, dude, these rap cards are actually looking good, and they're saying that Merab versus Henry's next. That one's gonna be really good to look at, and yeah, I hope to see more UFC fighters kind of go in here and just literally just wrestle. Like I want to see Kamaru pull up on there, but I don't think he'd be willing to waste his health on an RAF match. Me personally, or they probably wouldn't pay him enough because he holds his head high, which is good. Everyone's worth something. So, and that moves into this next one, bro. I don't even know what to take this as, but it's good news and bad news in the same thing. Ali Abdelaziz said that I said the CIA on accident, that the UFC is working on a huge fight and Ian Gary isn't involved. So obviously with Islam, and I saw Ian Gary post that the champ wants more time to prepare for me. How much time does he need, basically, or whatever? So maybe they are trying to go with someone else. And everyone's saying Kamaru, bruh. And, like, I get it. Islam wants, like, a good, probably a more, like, easier fight as his first defense. He doesn't want to get straight into it with fucking Ian Gary. Like, if Ian Gary and Usman fought, I bet Ian Gary would win, obviously. Like, now that Usman's a little older and Ian Gary's just kind of proving himself and doing what he needs to do. He obviously has really good game planning, whether it's entertaining or not. But that's where the good news is, that Ian Gary's not going to be Islam's next fight. But who would I rather see him fight? I don't know. Neither of them. I would rather see him fight Michael Morales. I'm not going to lie. Or the winner of JDM versus Prates. But obviously, I don't know. Probably not JDM. He probably got to win too because of how he got did. Basically, literally got dominated. But yeah, I hope it's someone crazy and that's actually entertaining and worthwhile. Yeah. Anyway, Ali said that, and who knows? I don't know nothing. But if it's not Ian Gary, that's good. Maybe they're just saying it to try to throw everyone off whatever, because they're bored, but who knows? And this doesn't really bounce into it, but it's the last thing for today. John Jones is saying he's in negotiations for the White House card. If he's the fucking main event, bruh, I'm boycotting that shit. I'm going on Stream East, bro. I'm like, just cause. And I have Paramount. But, bro, that is just so, bro, after Dana was saying, no, we can't rely on John Jones. And just seeing John Jones kind of, beg on, all these, DBX cards or, anytime he has a camera in his face. And him talking about how he has all this arthritis. Unless all that was literally just, formulated and fake to, throw off the fucking, narrative. Who knows? I don't know. But John Jones said that, and I saw that on Instagram this morning, so I think it said that within the last couple of days. But Dana White said that they had the White House card finished and that they would announce it this week. He said it last week and said that he would announce it next week, which obviously now is this week. But is John Jones on the card? I hope not. Not that, I don't want to see a John Jones fight. Everyone wants to see a John Jones fight. But if you do it, it's going to be against, Alex Pereira or, something crazy. Listen, it would only be okay as a main event if it's against Alex Pereira, bro. I don't even want him to be involved around the belt. Let's be real here. We don't need that. That's the last thing we need. He literally just holds up the division. I guarantee you he goes in there, he slams out Alex Pereira or gets slammed out via left hook or something. But, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it, but it is what it is. She texted me again. Sorry. Locked in. We're steady locked in. But I don't know. Everyone's trying to say Conor McGregor on the White House card too. I don't think that's gonna happen. I wonder what's gonna happen. I don't know. I hope it's good though, and I hope it is more than 7 or 9 fights or whatever they said. I want a full card, bro. I don't want just a handful of fights. I don't need hella belts on the line. I need 3 title fights. So. I need Kayla Harrison Nunez because why not? That's our only a U.S. champion. I guess John Jones versus Alex Pereira, bro. Whatever. And then Ilya Taporia versus Justin Gaethje. But who knows? Because Ilya was saying that he wasn't, trying to find the White House card. He didn't want to fight so soon. Who knows? Maybe all these people are lying to throw off, just throw off the narrative. Who knows? I don't know anything. But yeah, that's kind of it for today. Nothing more, nothing less. Hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys have a good day. And remember saying your grind, you know what I'm saying? Double upload today, and I'm about to go work out. And then go to the gym later and do Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. Let's all stay on that grind, bro. But, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good night and day. Enjoy yourself. Thank you for watching.